One of the things I've learned, and I've said this for years and years, I'm not going to tell you how to think. That's not my show. I just tell you how I think. Sports does different things to different people. I can take my daughter to a game. She's a teenager. She's in awe of the stadium. I go to games. I'm kind of analytical. It's why I don't go to sports bars. I like go to games. Sometimes I'll go to a game, sit in the end zone, watch the play develop. Some people go to games and they get drunk. I go to games, I want clarity. I'm going to a game tonight. I don't want to be drunk. Some people see sports as escapism. I've never once in my life gone to a game to escape. Not once, ever. Escape what? I love my wife. I love my job. I love my kids. What am I escaping? If you have to go to sports to escape, maybe that's more on you and not the wide receiver who just took a knee. Sports and how you react to sports, it's up to you. But never think everybody reacts the same. People react differently to different opinions. And when I go to a game, I never expect it to be perfect. The parking's always worse than I hoped. Getting out of the stadium's worse. There's always a drunk somewhere in my section. I've sat in sections with vulgarity and fights. The food's never as good as what I pay for it, and that beer's not worth $12. I don't go to football games or athletic events thinking everything's going to be perfect or everybody's going to act the way I would act. So if somebody has a nonviolent, silent protest, whether it aligns with my beliefs or not, I don't look for people to align with my beliefs. I thought it was interesting yesterday. The NFL not only has 32 franchises, it has 32 different cultures. Fans, owners, teams all reacted differently. Some guys stayed in the locker room. Seattle, Tennessee decided to do that. Pittsburgh did, then one guy came out. Some players kneeled. Some grabbed arms. There was no right way to react to that. Everybody does it their own way. Every fan brings a different personality to a game, and every head coach, owner, player, and culture is different in this league. I think when you get angry is when you expect people to act the way you would act, to align with your beliefs. I don't pick friends like that. I don't pick arenas like that. I didn't pick a wife like that. And I hope my kids don't believe everything I do. I did think this was fascinating, though. You have a right when you own a team to build a culture any way you want and hire any coach. Yesterday was a prime example how different cultures are in the NFL. Last week, I had a rant on the Steelers and the Seahawks. I said, in my opinion, they were the most emotional cultures in the NFL. More high fives, louder, more talkative, more outspoken, more late hits. Two of the worst performances yesterday were by the Steelers and the Seahawks. I would say the third most emotional franchise is the Baltimore Ravens. They have made a living off tough and talkative. They were awful. When you build a franchise high on emotion, you are more susceptible to mood swings. By the way, if I told you personalities with little or no effect, think about this. Tennessee, between Mike Mularkey and Marcus Mariota, they have virtually no pulse. That is a franchise that is flat, even keel. The coach doesn't talk. The quarterback doesn't talk. Tennessee was great yesterday. What did I talk about last week? Kansas City. Andy Reid on the sidelines. Stoic. It's a team with a quarterback most of you wouldn't recognize in a shopping mall. They won. New England, head down, businesslike, almost academic, little or no emotion generally. They won too. Think about that. There is no one way to act to it. But when you build cultures on emotion, Pittsburgh, Seattle, and Baltimore, you are certainly capable of more mood swings. Baltimore didn't lose. They were humiliated. They didn't show up emotionally. Seattle didn't just lose. They were not buttoned up. Pittsburgh didn't just lose. They lost to a horrible team and showed virtually no emotion for 3.5 hours. And by the way, the Miami Dolphins, Jay Cutler, enigmatic, displaced by a hurricane, cap emblems, all in emotionally, didn't show up to play. I don't know if it transcends 1 week. I am never going to tell you how to act. I'm never going to tell you how to feel. This show is called The Herd. I just tell you how I act and how I feel. But last week, I specifically talked about how cultures are different in the NFL. And Seattle and Baltimore and Pittsburgh, highly emotional cultures, almost appeared susceptible to a very polarizing weekend. And Kansas City and Tennessee and New England. By the way, Green Bay, the franchise that tells us RELAX. Relax. Also won. You can decide how to build your business. Either way is fine. Both ways can win Super Bowls. But I did think it was interesting how teams played yesterday based on their culture. Hi, everybody, and thanks for watching. We want you to subscribe here, to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.